I think if I was to look back and say if I have any regrets, and I think a lot of people say this, is that I wish I would have caught it a while back when I was younger.
Around age 14, 15, I started selling drugs. I got involved with the gangs officially at 15 years old, and I had committed my life to the gangs, whether that be in prison or whether I died in the streets.
My teens to 20s and late 20s, just in and out of jail because of my abuse problems.
It was 21 years involved in that lifestyle, which was a lot of violence, drug dealing, drug use, robbery, anything, guns. It was all normalized for me, and it was just a normal way of life for me.
After all these years that my dad was telling me, you need Jesus, he would pick me up from jail, you need Jesus. That's all I kept hearing, you need Jesus. I go, I get it, Dad, but I wasn't ready for that relationship because I felt I would have to give up everything and not gain nothing.
I believe that my commitment to the gangs, my commitments to the streets, whether that be the violence and the whole everything that came with it, was due to my lack of love, being loved, knowing what true love was. Then I was saved.
There's a little, like, I regret, but there's really no regrets because, you know, God picked me up out of the muck, and now I'm able to pick other men up out of the muck and watch them grow because God took time out for me and said, I want you to do this. So actually there's no regrets, no regrets.
So being in the gang life, I came across a lot of people that would come through the neighborhood for one reason or another. And there was a gentleman named Marty Calderon who used to come through, Pastor Marty, and he would go to all the different gang neighborhoods, and you know, he wouldn't beat us with the Bible. He wouldn't preach us that we were going to hell for the things we were doing, but just told us that Jesus loved us and that there was a plan for us other than what we thought, and that there was more to this life than what we were living. You know, it's all 15 years that Marty pursued me through those streets, and finally I reached out, and you know, the rest was history.
This ministry is a very special ministry to me because it's working with guys who have been in my shoes. They're broken, they're, you know, depressed, they're struggling, they're coming out of jail, they're dealing with drugs and alcohol problems. And what an amazing thing, they come and see me, someone who's been through it. And I met Jonathan and we would talk. He would never call me back. And it was one day I received a phone call from him, and he said, I need help. Can I come to God Touch Milwaukee?
You know, Marty always told me that God had a purpose for me, and Marty saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. But it was because he was looking through different lenses. He saw in me what the Lord Jesus Christ seen in me. And at that point was where my life took a turn for the best.
So we prayed with Jonathan. I mean, then he started taking some leadership roles in the home, you know, leading Bible studies, leading prayer meetings. You know, he started to mature in the Word, mature and becoming the man that God called him to be. And being able to see that transformation is a remarkable thing because God totally changed this man's heart to want to serve men how Jesus serves us. And now God is using us to turn this neighborhood upside down because Jesus is in the center of all this. It's not because of Marty and Jonathan, it's because Jesus said, this is what I want you to do, and we're doing it.
What's so powerful, what's happening at God Touch Milwaukee, is that the man is being restored because the man is the head of the home. And with him being in line and letting the Lord lead him and surrendering his life over to Jesus Christ, then everything underneath him falls in line. So what's uncommon about my life is that a man who was so prideful, so selfish, and so set in his ways could be changed from within, inside and out, rewired and set correctly to live my life in a way that's totally glorifying for my Lord Jesus Christ. And I want others to know that it doesn't matter where you've been, how dark it's been, it don't matter what you've done. The Lord has never left you. He has never forgotten you. He's never forsaken you, and He loves you. And He has a plan and a purpose for you. And don't give up. Don't give in. Fight for it. Let the Lord fight for you. Don't fight Him anymore. Surrender and let the Lord love you and change your life.